Well, all right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. The question comes to me by way of email because people are constantly, in some way, shape, fashion, or form, trying to find out exactly how Straightway does things, why we do things certain ways, and how did we come about doing them. Let me hit this from a different angle. All right, let me hit this from a different angle. I get a lot of respect from men because I am a doer. I don't put myself or place myself above any man. Whatever they do, I do. And being a man that leads by example goes a hell of a lot farther than someone just talking. I often say it, if I said it once, said it 1,000 times. Men don't follow titles, they follow strength. And in this world that we live in today, people want you to respect and give honor and follow them because they may have a title or position or something like that. Now, while they may give you respect and honor, it will not be nowhere near to the level of someone who has the favorability of actually doing what everybody else does. You know, as a leader, and I remember years and years and years ago, I would take the scriptures and I would literally break down everything that we're doing on the community. And then I realized something. I realized that you can make yourself pretty vulnerable if you tell everybody every single aspect that you're doing, especially your visions and your goals. It's better for them to see it rather than it being spoken about, because as sure as you turn around and start disclosing the intricacies of your vision or your goal, someone is sitting around to listen to it, to try to be a minister or a tool of Satan to try to derail or to come up with some type of way to throw a monkey wrench in it to make sure that you're not successful, because envy and jealousy is real. I mean, it's just really, truly real in this world that we live in. And some men, they listen with an attentive ear and they have an attentive mindset, and they look at someone that would consider to be successful and they want to grow from that. Others, they look at trying to take advantage of other people's success by being a partaker in their success while they sow little, put in little, and do little. You know, the scriptures are repleting and saying, blessed are not the hearers, but the doers. You don't become blessed in any way, shape, fashion, or form in life until you actually become doers. So what I've been doing lately is, rather than telling everybody exactly every aspect and every step that I'm doing and what we're doing, I just let people see the footprint. And then as we gain victories and as we continue to expand, as we continue to keep growing, then I'll talk about it from there. Because if I was to sit out here and put out the blueprint of everything that we're planning on doing, what we're going to do, when we're going to do, how we're going to do, you better be sure that the enemy has somebody sitting there weighing in the balances, ready to derail and throw a monkey wrench in the righteousness. And because that's what a righteous man is. You know, the righteous, according to scripture, only tend to plenty, but the wicked to want. And that's the reason why I get a lot of honor and a lot of respect from people, because they know that Pastor Dow is a doer. If we go to a community, like we're going to be going to Alabama to build a building, I'm 57 years old. But they will see Pastor Dow out there working, if not the hardest, close to the damn top as being the hardest, and just that in it alone commands respect. Not only will I be working the hardest, I'll be eating the same food that everybody else eats. And you know, if somebody asked me, well, why do you put yourself in these places and positions? And I'm going to tell you the reason why. You see, you can become great in the world. You can become great in men's eyes. However, when you always stay close to reality and you don't forget where you come from, it keeps a humility and a soundness inside of you that as you do advance and as you do grow, you don't have to worry about arrogance. You don't have to worry about hypocrisy. You don't have to worry about ever catering to the flesh where, I'm above this and I don't, I don't have to do menial tasks. And because there's a level of pride that comes in it. I will sweep just like anybody else sweeps, not because that I shouldn't sweep hey, many brothers, they'll see me doing something and they'll rush to come and try to take the burden off of me. And sometimes I let them, sometimes I don't, because I want everybody to understand that in growth, in life, it's not about you achieving so-called success so that you can live a sedentary life and then you make excuses for being inadequate and you just literally stop striving. You have to strive and continue to keep growing. A real man always learns. A real man never stops growing. A real man is always looking for new endeavors, new things, new challenges to go through, to conquer, because without it, the drive, the self-determination, the ambition that you should have, it's not going to be there. And it's going to slowly start dwindling in every aspect of life. So never stop growing as a man. Be an example. Don't cater. I tell people all the time, some people think that because when you get older, you should actually slow down and start doing all this and stop doing that. I actually believe the very opposite. I've been young and now I'm old or getting old. And I think that the older you get, the more you should push, the more you should drive, the more you should actually expect more from yourself because physically you're on the decline. You know that. And if you're going to if you're going to push back so-called quote-unquote father time, you're not going to defeat him, then you're going to have to be proactive. You can't succumb to the dictates and the mandates of the flesh and expect to be a great man. You can't be a great man just because you have a title and position. People don't honor title and positions. You may have it, they don't honor that. They honor strength. And if you want to be a man that commands a lot of attention, and I'm not saying that that's your desire and stuff, all you have to do is don't put yourself above anybody. Nobody. You're just like anybody else. It's just that you're in a place and a position because of where you're at, because the Most High Yah has put you there to provide wisdom from those who are coming after you. So as you see from me, do. As you hear from me, hear it and apply it. And whatever you see me accomplish or even attempting to accomplish or trying to accomplish in life, develop for yourself little small goals so you can get little successes and victories. And then over time, they add up to great successes and great victories. Everything that I do is always about others. It's always, they're first and foremost in my heart and in my mind. I'm going to work till I can't work no more. The only one that's going to bring me down is the Most High Yah. It won't be nobody else, and it damn sure won't be myself. I have to deal with the same negative emotions and feelings, and I have to deal with these voices that come in our head and our mind that tries to persuade you and sway you to relax, to do things the opposite way, to do all this. And I push back hard. I push back extremely hard. And because I do, it's made me the man that I am today. And I'm hoping that I'm bringing motivation to others. I'm hoping that in this motivation that I'm setting a bar and setting a standard. It's not out of reach, but setting a bar and the standards for others to obtain to, when they become around my age. Because then you will be some kind of man, and then you will pass down a spirituality, a work ethic, and a manhood for the generations that coming behind you to see, and it will continue to advance us as a people, and we'll continue to keep growing. And that's just something to see in itself. Think about this. You'll still be able to develop families, communities, and use a lot of wisdom in your older age. And everything that you've ever learned and whatever you paid forward, you can also pay it back teach them, and the reward of watching them become self-motivated and getting the drive in them and not catering to the lust of this flesh and lethargically and being lethargic and passive. Man, you won't believe the type of man and the sense of accomplishment that it would actually give you. First and foremost, always number one, put the Most High first and obey him. Always. And let me end this video on that as number one. Number two is this. If you're going to speak a little bit about goals or dreams, speak about it a little bit and keep your cards close to you and keep your mind close to your chest and reveal very little, only to trusted advisors and trusted people about what your future is for and what you're planning. And do not ever go out there and extend yourself. If somebody's trying to get an answer out of you, when you're not ready to answer, don't answer. Because the hypocrites that a lot of these people are, they want an answer from you while they do nothing themselves and little themselves. Let your work ethic and let your accomplishment be the answer. So guard it. Guard your heart. And have very, very few advisors and counselors, men of wisdom. Do not use fools. And don't deceive yourself. Don't think yourself and act like yourself to be something when you're really truly nothing. Just be truthful and be honest. And you'll command a lot of respect from people, yourself, and then the Most High Yah will welcome you into his kingdom. Hope I said something to stimulate thought. You want to know more about what we're doing? It's all in the scripture. Now that I'll speak to you about. But you've got to be transformed. You got to change. King coming.